In the most difficult to reach places, the most badly hit by the tsunami, they're still looking for survivors. Soldiers poke their way through the wreckage of entire towns, hoping for a noise or a cry. But it's pretty hopeless. It's freezing cold and miserable. It's still a rescue effort, but only just. This disaster didn't end as the tsunami waves returned to the sea. That was actually just the start. We drove through a wasteland of wrecked communities for days. It's truly shocking. The damage, the loss is breathtaking. Thousands have died here, but over 300,000 are left holding on to life as the authorities struggle to deal with the magnitude of the problem. Across the disaster zone, the survivors huddle together in government buildings that survived. There are more than 10,000 people in this school alone. Classrooms, now dormitories. They sit and wait for the big aid effort, but they've been sitting and waiting for days, and it's not getting any better, at least not yet, and that's what they believe. For now, they're surviving on meagre rations, cooked outside in the cold. It's testament to Japanese society's belief in order that they aren't crying out with anger. In this clinic for the handicapped, the patients and their families sit in almost complete silence, just a radio bringing the news. They've no food, water, electricity or petrol, just a gas stove. That's it, and they still don't complain. The authorities, they say, just haven't got round to them yet. That's all. Anywhere else, society would be falling apart. But here, where the infrastructure has collapsed, they still maintain order. These are petrol queues. They're everywhere. Miles long in some cases. They sit here for days. In supermarkets that are open, the shelves are almost bare. They've not been resupplied. But in orderly queues, people buy whatever they can. They are desperate, that's for sure. They just don't express it. In hospitals, survivors are still being brought in. Hypothermia and hunger, the most common problems now. Doctors have been working for days without break. Everyone is exhausted.
I cannot imagine more than this. So I cannot tell more, and how I don't know the word to explain this situation. Once I get out to see the city, how it's dead bodies around, and houses are disappeared. Things are, I cannot imagine. I still feel I'm still dreaming.
The tsunami may have hit 2 Fridays ago, but Japan's recovery is only just beginning, and it will take years. The level of damage over such a vast area is hard to comprehend until you see it. In truth, it's remarkable that more people didn't die. In some areas they are still trying to find people who may have survived, and there have been some remarkable recoveries in the past 24 hours or so. But this is Onegawa. The level of destruction here almost beggars belief, and they still haven't been able to get to the other side of town. Anyone who was trapped or found themselves at ground level would have died when the tsunami struck. Ironically, of course, when it comes to reconstruction, it might be easier here because almost nothing remains standing. Through the wreckage, rather dazed-looking survivors mingle with volunteers and homeowners who've come back to try and recover what they can. But there isn't much. Others, like Tochiki Abata, who lost everything but his life, doesn't know when help will come. He's found some old rice to boil. In the midst of his wrecked town, he'll wait. It's okay, he said. I lived. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, Japan.